Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests, over the summer, about 3 months ago, one day I was in a chair, propelled from 0 to 128 miles an hour in 3.5 seconds. Then I was hurled up into the sky 45 stories. I was going so fast, the wind was blasting my face and blasting into my eyes that I could barely see. All I could see were patches of light. It was terrifying, and I loved it. Every moment of it, and I wanted to do it again and again and again. I was on a roller coaster. This one was called King the Cod at Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey, and it is the world's fastest and tallest coaster. It was amazing. Now I can understand how some people, like Mary, maybe, could find that horrifying, being propelled from 0 to 128 miles an hour in 3.5 seconds. Let's put that into perspective. That's probably 3 times the acceleration of a Porsche. That's probably what it feels like to be a bullet. And how can some people find that horrifying and other people find that thrilling? When I was a child, I remember being horrified of coasters. Whenever we went to the amusement parks, my cousins, my friends would all say, oh, let's go to this coaster and that coaster. And I would feel a sense of dread every time they mentioned it. Upon the sight of it, I would try to hide behind some person and pretend I'm not there. And the turning point came. How did I go from being horrified of roller coasters to loving it so much? The turning point came when I was a teenager. I think I was in high school. And I remember thinking one day at an amusement park with friends, thinking, what am I doing here? I paid so much money. I'm not getting on any of those lines. I'm not riding on any of those coasters. I'm not having fun. And all my other friends are having a blast. They're going on the lines again and again and again. And I thought to myself, this doesn't make sense. And in that moment, I decided, if people can pay to enjoy this as an entertainment, as a thrill, why can't I? So in that moment, I made a decision. What the hell? I'm just going to enjoy this. Let's see how this can be an enjoyable experience. And I went on my first coaster, which was relatively modest, but still terrifying from my perspective. And I went on, and I decided, I was conscious about it, and I decided, okay, so what's the whole idea behind this? How is this fun? How is this thrilling? And the coaster went. It was horrifying. And one thing I did differently was I opened my mouth and I screamed. I screamed, I let it all out. And you know what? That whole horrifying experience all of a sudden became the opposite. It became a thrilling and enormously fulfilling and exciting experience. And that was a huge realization I had. Because in that moment, I also realized that things that we normally don't like, don't want to experience, are afraid of, can be enjoyed. It is possible. Roller coasters are one example. Public speaking is another example that I overcame. It could be any kind of experience. Something you're afraid of, something you'd rather ignore, a person, a place, a situation. And I think the choice comes only when you know there is a choice. A lot of us have this reflex reaction. We think of the situation of this person, oh, that person bugs me, oh, don't even mention that again. We have this reflex reaction. But if we can hold ourselves in that moment, and just remember that this situation can be enjoyed. It is possible. It seems unthinkable now. It seems, what are you talking about? Doesn't make sense. I've always hated that. It seems strange, but if you can even consider the possibility that it can be enjoyed in some strange way, all of a sudden possibility will likely happen. So my message to you guys is you don't have to be propelled from 0 to 128 miles an hour in 3.5 seconds and then hurled up into the sky 45 stories to have this realization. But in your everyday life, all those experiences, all those people, maybe stuff you've buried in your closet, swept under the carpet. Think about that. Turn your flashlight on and flash it on those things that you don't want to look at. What is there? What is there to be afraid of? A lot of times we're afraid because we don't know that there's a choice. But if you turn on your flashlight and point it to that thing, what do you see? Madam Toastmaster.